We're going to write a piecewise function that corresponds with this graph. Part of the piecewise function we're going to find is the rule or the equation up here, and we're going to find the range along the x-axis in this column. Okay, so if we first look at this part of the graph, this piece of the graph that I'm outlining in red, we want to look at the range of x values. Well, it starts here at 0 and it goes to the left, and since it has an arrowhead that we know it goes to negative infinity, so our range of x values are going to be x is less than or equal to 0. Now if we want to find the rule or the equation of the line, we can use our y equals mx plus b form to help us figure that out. And remember our b stands for our y-intercept. So right here is our y-intercept, and that line intercepts at 2. Now we need to know our slope. Now this is a positive slope. It's going up from left to right. So if we go down 1, which is negative, to the left, which is negative, that will give us actually a positive slope. So it's down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1. So our slope is actually 1. So we can write it as 1x plus 2, or even just x plus 2 is fine. The next piece we're going to solve for is this segment right in here. Okay. We'll look along the x-axis, and we see that it goes from 0 to 4. So our values will be 0 and 4. And then we will do just less than 0 because we already had it equal to 0 in our top equation. So it'll be 0 is less than x is less than or equal to 4. And now as far as the equation for that line, that is a horizontal line which, if it were to extend, would cut through the y-axis at 2. So the equation for that line would just be f of x equals 2 or y equals 2. Okay, the final piece of our graph here in green is a segment which starts at 4 and ends at 8. So our range of values along the x-axis will be 4. We'll make it less than because we already used the equal sign up here. Then x is less than or equal to 8. We're going to write equal to 8 because that point is filled in. It's a closed circle. Now it's probably easier to look at the slope of this one first. It's a positive slope. If we start with the first point, we're going up 1, 2, 3, and over to the right 1, 2. So our slope is actually 3 over 2. So that part of the equation can be written 3 halves x. Now to figure out the b part of that equation, or the y-intercept, we can do a couple things. We can continue the slope down 3 over 2, down 3 over 2, and end up right here on our y-axis. That's where this line would have gone through the y-axis if it were to continue. So actually this graph is a little funny. This is actually negative 4 right here. So our b value is negative 4. If we were to do this algebraically, we could take any one of the points along here. So if we just looked at this first point, 4, 2, and we plugged the 2 in for y, we kept our slope of 3 halves, plugged 4 in for x, and then solved for b. So we'd have 2 equals 12 halves plus b, 2 equals 6 plus b, and when we subtract 6 from both sides, we would get negative 4 equals b, which is the same one that we found if we just did it by tracing through the graph. And so now this is what this piecewise function would look like.